They try to say that you don't know what real love is. Since you did not conform to their mistreatment, to their lies, since you respected yourself and put up boundaries, they decided that you didn't know what real love is because they want you to conform to them. Their definition of love is conforming to their ways, validating their ego, sitting there like a doormat and just letting the mistreatment happen. But we are a real person of love because we are a real person of God. We have real, genuine authenticity, real love on the inside, real empathy. So just because we don't conform to what these narcissists want, they try to say that you don't know what real love is. They try to say that you're controlling, demanding, too emotional, jealous, whatever the case may be. Because they're used to being around people that don't have boundaries, who are toxic. You see, maybe you were with someone who pretended like they were very respectful and loyal and genuine. But throughout time, you started to see, excuse me, the mask slip. You started to want healthy respect. You started to put up boundaries. So they didn't like that. Maybe the person you were with had a lot of friends of the opposite sex. And maybe they told you in the beginning that they had a lot of friends of the opposite sex. But since they told you that they were respectful and loyal and genuine and all of this, you didn't think anything of it. You just thought, that they were acquaintances and there's nothing wrong with having friends of the opposite sex, right? But throughout time, you come to find out that maybe the ex-partner is calling and texting on a daily because they've had that kind of relationship for 10 plus years, even though they're not together and even though the other person has a partner. Your partner has allowed that to happen and the other person has become codependent on them. So you get in a relationship with this person and you find that that's just a little bit off, that they shouldn't be bombarding in the relationship every morning and noon and night. Excuse me, every morning, noon and night. They should not be coming into the relationship. You would think that they would have respect like an adult, because I'm sure that they wouldn't want their partner having someone of the opposite sex calling every morning, noon, and night and needing them for something all the time. And maybe they have a friend who has a girlfriend or a boyfriend who does the same thing. You see, these narcissists, they live off of validation. It boosts their ego. They have to have all these people needing them constantly. That's what makes them feel like a whole person. So they will have as many people as they can needing them as much as possible. And so if you put up boundaries that you don't like that the ex partner is calling so much, or the best friend's partner is calling so much, they both have relationships. They shouldn't be relying on your partner to save them and rescue them as much as they do. Because this isn't just an every once in a while thing. This is a daily thing. So those other people, they get mad. And now all of a sudden, they're talking about you. They're talking about you, that you don't know what real love is because you have boundaries and you want to be respected. Now all of a sudden you're jealous. Now all of a sudden you're trying to take them away from their friends, which is not true. You've met some of their other friends or acquaintances or whatever that don't need them on a 24-hour basis, 7 days a week. There's nothing wrong with having friends, but some people, they don't know limits. They don't care. They've been doing it for so long, and the narcissist doesn't care. They want to have all those people calling and texting 24/7 regardless of what you say. And since the narcissist has known them longer, they want to keep a hold on them and let you go instead of having respect for you and accepting that you are the true, genuine person of love and respect. They want to pretend like you don't know what love is, that you're not respecting them. They want to turn it all around on you, but that's not the truth. You love yourself and you respect yourself enough to know that what is right and what is wrong. You have discernment. And just because you didn't want to allow all of this to happen doesn't mean that you're the bad person. No, they came in and pretended like they were someone that was respectful and loyal. But in the end, they backstabbed you and betrayed you for those toxic people who went around and slandered you while you were in the relationship, try to get your partner to not be with them anymore, trying to say that you're controlling, you're demanding, you're too emotional, you're crazy, you don't let them do whatever they want. That's not true. All you wanted was respect. You wanted respect from all of them. That's all you wanted. But none of them took accountability. None of them took accountability for anything. None of them did anything wrong. Because you see, they've done it for so long. Maybe you didn't know your partner very long. And they knew these people for 10 plus years. So they counted them as someone who is more loving and, more respectful than you because you had boundaries and you wanted respect. Now you're supposed to be the bad person in their eyes. None of that is true. You don't have to tolerate any of that. And they try to make you think that you have to sit there and tolerate it. Like, who even wants to be in a relationship like that, anyways, where there's multiple people of the opposite sex calling on a daily, multiple times a day, needing them, needing them, needing them? Nobody wants a relationship with a guy like that. If they can't respect you enough to put up the boundaries with those people and those other people who are their so called closest friends, if they don't have the respect for you, that tells you a lot about your person who pretended like they were respectful and loyal. They were not loyal. If they were loyal and respectful to you, they would have accepted your boundaries, your healthy boundaries. You're not being demanding, you're not being controlling, you're not keeping them away from their friends. You're just asking for some mutual respect so that you can have a relationship with this person. But their need to have validation from all these people is what they want. They need to have validation from people everywhere. That's what makes them feel like a real person. That makes them feel like they are whole and complete, getting validation from all of these people. They didn't respect you enough none of them respected you enough to have any kind of respect for the relationship, not even the person you were with. They would never betray you for some backstabbers and liars. But that just goes to show the real person that they really are. If they turn around and backstab you for those types of people, that just shows who they really are. You didn't do anything wrong. They try to make you out to be the enemy, like you did something so horrible, like you tried to take their life away, but you didn't. You did not do that. They made it out to be bigger than it is because they are so used to getting away with whatever they want when they want, and they wanted you to conform to their little box, and they wanted you to be another one of those needy people. In fact, after you left them, you didn't need them anymore. You didn't even want them anymore because you can see who they are. They wanted you to come back and need them and want them just like all the others. But that's not who we are. We don't do that. So now they think that you're some horrible person, but we know that that's not the truth. We respect ourselves and we love ourselves. And we know who we are. We know that we are true and authentic with our love. And that's too bad for them that they didn't want to accept what real love and real loyalty really is. And it's just God exposing that they really were not loyal, that they really were not honest, that they really were not the person that they pretended to be. They pretended to be a respectful, loyal, loving person. All of that just showed who they really are. And God showed you that for a reason because they can't go with you where you're going. You are someone who is real. They Even though they try to turn around on you like you are not someone who knows how to love or who doesn't know what love is, that is not the truth. God exposed those people for a reason because they cannot go where you are going.